Before you invest nearly $200 in a new paint sprayer, we're going to show you all the pros and cons of the Wagner Flexio 3500.
You know, I decided to bite the bullet and go ahead and get one of these handheld with the cup in hand sprayers that I see everybody else using. I have a big commercial sprayer that I use with a fine tip on it that allows me to do all these fine projects. The problem with that particular sprayer and the big rub is that that sprayer likes to eat about a half a gallon of paint before it ever gives you anything out of the nozzle, and you can't get that half a gallon back to put back in your container. So it's just wasted. You have to clean it out of the gun, and it's not fun. It's a big waste of money, it's a big waste of time, and cleaning takes about 25 minutes on that. So I bit the bullet and I bought this right here. It's a Flexio 3500. It comes with a spray nozzle that's meant for doing things like walls and broader areas like fences and things like that. And then it has this detail sprayer. And this right here is for fine finishing work. It has lots of adjustments. You can adjust the material flow and the air pressure flow. So that allows you to kind of play with it, get the exact spray pattern that you want. It also does vertical, horizontal, and a circular pattern that supposedly, because I haven't tried it yet, allows you to get into fine detail work. That's what I'm most excited about, because if I got to pull a paintbrush out to get into the nooks and crannies before I pull the sprayer out, I might as well kind of maybe just finish with the brush, and I'd really rather just do everything with the sprayer and not have to mess with it. Now, back to the reason why I was reluctant. About 20 years ago, I bought one of these, and it was a horrible experience. And I don't want to out the company that I bought, but I'll tell you, its initials were Wagner. So basically, I'm giving Wagner another shot.
Second chance.
So many reviews. And I'm looking forward to it. There's reviews online that say that, you know, they had it 6 months or a year and they've done, you know, 50, 60 pieces and it's worked great. My other Wagner died on me, I think, the second job. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Hold on. I can see if I can get them all. We're going to need it.
Yep.
One really nice thing that they include for beginners or beginners of this equipment, because they're all a little bit different, and this is a pretty helpful thing, this poster that you can hang up on a wall or hang up on top of a tarp and practice. You can practice your fan patterns for horizontal, vertical, and circular detail, circular being the spray pattern, the detail, and you can go your 3 to 6 inches, start shooting and see if you get the spray pattern that they're telling you you're supposed to have. And if not, you can play with it, get the settings right before you ever go and try to shoot your, you know, whatever piece that you're trying to spray.
This is the actual box to the Wagner Flexio 3500. Wanted to show you what the box looked like. We picked this up at a local big box store that our youngest daughter works at, so we get a discount. And we are not sponsored by the big box store or by Wagner, but we picked this product strictly because of the reviews.
All right, I'm coming to you from our dungeon, our paint dungeon today. It's really windy outside. I don't want to open the door. Plus, this will create a cleaner environment anyway, but our lighting's pretty terrible in here. I just got finished straining this paint, getting ready to load it up into the paint cup, paint strainer right here. I'm going to add a little bit of water. The paint manufacturer and Wagner both say I don't need to, but I've already tried it. It sprayed pretty lousy, and the way it sprayed with a ton of orange peel and everything else like that, and the fact that it was very difficult to get a bigger fan with the spray tip. In fact, it was spitting a lot and really not much of a spray fan whatsoever, and a lot of overspray out of the sides. So my thought process is this is definitely a thin the paint kind of situation. I'm going to add 1 ounce to about 16 ounces of paint. 1.6 ounces would be 10%, 0.8 ounces would be 5%. So we're a little closer to 5%, and I'm fine with that. I'm not trying to be a rocket scientist or an engineer, but I think that's going to be good. We'll get it thinned out and see how it does this time. If you're in a little bit of a pinch and you need to measure out an ounce or something along those lines, 2 tablespoons equals an ounce. Craziest thing about this is that even though I don't have this dialed in, as I was pulling down the old piece of cardboard here, or paper stock, whatever you want to call it, to put up a fresh piece, I noticed there is no overspray. There's no overspray on this whatsoever. And I sprayed right here, so nothing bounced off. All right, well, as you can see, I pretty much covered this whole thing, but I'm very excited. I got some really good passes, smooth. I need to dial it in just a little bit more, but thinning the paint made all the difference. I'm going to actually be able to back down the power setting on the Wagner Flexio 3500. You've got basically, I guess it's down from 1 up to 8. When I was using it the other day, unthinned paint, I had to be all the way on 8 and all the way wide open on the material flow. This material flow is kind of hinky. All it is just a knob that basically opens up to keep you from pulling the trigger so much. Pretty just a mechanical little check, basically. Now that it's flowing so well, I kind of want to back it down to, I don't want to say the minimum, but I don't need so much flow for this job that I'm going to do. I don't need so much material. I'm doing lots of little thin things so that I'm going to be spraying. So I don't want a big fan or anything else like that. But I'm telling you, before I thin the paint, I couldn't get hardly any fan whatsoever. It was just spitting paint. This is flowing nicely, and I think we're off and running. Oh, too fast. You switch with you? Review time. It's good. I like this thing. Used it twice, and actually I just ended up using the detail nozzle, this being the nozzle right here. The way this particular sprayer works, the motor part of it never sees paint or anything else like that, which is nice because you don't have to do any cleaning with this whatsoever. I only use the detail sprayer because that's all I needed it for. Also, the not detail sprayer, not sure what they're calling it, broad spectrum, broad spray head sprayer, it's just a bigger version of this. The spray is basically the same, it just does bigger. And based on what I saw on this, I don't think anybody will have a problem with that one. Also, there's other reviews, other places for that particular sprayer. The nice thing about this is that when you go to clean it, all you have to do is just take this top off right here. And you're basically just pulling off a couple of items. Hopefully I don't make a mess because I've already cleaned this up. And you're really only cleaning these parts that I just pulled off and this pressure tube that's in here that comes out like this. And you're just running water through here, water through there, cleaning all this off if you're using water-based material. I did end up spraying oil-based polyurethane. So when they say it takes 1.5 minutes to clean it up, I found it was more like 3 to 5. Maybe I'd get a little faster after using it with the water-based. I spent a good 10 minutes cleaning it with the oil-based. So it's a little longer to clean it, but that's far less time than I'd spend with my bigger sprayer. I sprayed, as I mentioned, the oil-based polyurethane on a tabletop. It sprayed beautifully. I'm a fan of this. In fact, because of this setup, with the spray nozzle being all contained here, they sell extras of these. So you can buy, my wife doesn't know yet, but I'm going to get 2 or 3 more of these because the nice thing about it is you can just walk over, hook up, spray what you got to spray, walk over to the next thing, hook up another one, as long as you get your settings right, and spray. And then by the time that's ready for a second coat, the thing you started on, you go back, hook back up, and go. It's fantastic. The one thing that really did throw me, though, is when you're hooked up and you have this turned on, there's a constant flow of air that continuously goes out. And I thought that that was going to really mess things up. It seemed to me, if you're pointing at what you want to shoot and you've got this blast of air that's coming out the whole time, that it's going to throw off the drying times, make the paint not lay out that great. But it did fine. The other thing that I used it for was it was actually Valspar cabinet and furniture paint. It's supposedly oil infused, but it's still a water-based paint. I used that. I also used a bag that they supply that you can put inside your cup and put the paint in there. So when you're done, you just pull the bag out and throw it away and you don't have to clean this out. And I thought that was a great idea. The problem was when I did that, and I didn't realize it at the time, I didn't get the seal good enough on here. And that's important because the way this works is you've got this constant flow of air that goes through. And then when you pull this trigger, it pressurizes the cup and forces paint out into that flow of air. And that's how you get the paint out. If you don't have this sealed up, it's not going to pressurize and it's not going to paint correctly. So I had a big problem when I first did it. I figured out that that was the problem and I really wrenched on it and the paint still didn't really flow well. So I ended up going back a second time, thinning out the paint a little bit, and I got excellent results. Wagner and both Valspar both say that you don't need to thin the paint out to spray it. So I don't know, maybe if I didn't have the bag in here, and maybe if it sealed a little bit better, it would have flowed a little better. But that was on max airflow and max trigger, meaning that it allowed you to basically open up when you pulled the trigger. Once I thinned it out just a tiny bit, about 7%, flowed like nobody's business. I'm a fan. I'll be buying more of these so I can do multiple jobs at a time. And yeah, overall, it's 2 thumbs up.
Here's the final product that Nathan painted with the Wagner Flexio 3500. A link with the full video on our restoration of the vintage Chippendale style mahogany pie crust table is in the description below.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're Nathan and Suzanne and this is Coastal by Design. We refinish furniture, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, click on that subscribe button and notification bell. We have weekly videos. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thanks for watching.